can't reach for my ion holster. I throw knuckles every time I have a disagreement.
From the darkness of night erupted the chatter of boots. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. The rhythm spoke with clarity. Soon thereafter, the rounded brim of a hat broke through the shadows, followed by the figure of a man. The large brim fluttered as several gusts of wind rose like waves in opposition. He shielded his vitals from the brisk onslaught. It consisted of 1,000,000 particles of silica, threatening to rip flesh from his skull. Then, just as quickly, the wind subsided. With one hand, the man removed his hat. The bladed gust suddenly swept it up. The chin strap caught his neck as it was thrown backward. Once he lifted his head, an involuntary yawn erupted. Dust filled his throat to a half-open mouth. He gagged, fighting apparent asphyxiation from the onslaught. Simultaneously covering his mouth with the one free hand, he replaced the hat upon his crown with the other. The gasps quickly subsided as abruptly as they began. Galaxy, Gallion, Gala as some called him, spoke. Won't be long now. Town's close enough to shake a stick at. Once these words rolled through his teeth, he ran the tongue over their surface, removing dust from the crevices, picking and prying with its tip. He cocked his head, then spat into the wind. It sailed swiftly away, and difficult but not impossible to notice in the dim light, the gritty saliva returned to him, landing on his garb near the right side of his abdomen. Containing his disgust, he watched the spot quickly collect dust until it was consumed, leaving a small patch of blood. He took a sleeved elbow and swiped at the area. The spot fell away in clumps. He spat once more, this time in a direction off to the right, allowing the breeze to carry the glob safely past him in its return. He chuckled, but through tightly squinted lids, he could make out buildings as he approached the town. Still a ways off, but there was even more light illuminating him now, enough to make his presence more of a shadow. The jacket he wore appeared to be some type of animal skin. His pants were a rugged textile material, which bell-bottomed out at the boots he wore. Previously mentioned spurs conspicuously strapped to their heels. He retrieved a pair of gloves from his waistline near his belt. The gloves contrast molding with the jacket of the same material. Gala lifted his head again, holding his hat upon his head. The structure of the town were densely packed in the given area, surrounded by an completely barren landscape. Gala whistled, and a horse galloped up, chest sturdy and toned. Dark eyes of the beast reflected the light from the stars in the sky. The beast exasperated what appeared to be a sneeze. The material released onto the ear and underlining neck of Gala. He removed the residue with the sleeve of his glove as best he could, allowing the dust storm to dry the rest. That's a joke, it's not funny. Royal lady nudged at the spot, running the bridge of her nose over it gently. Gala cringed, but held his ground as the hair feathered at his flesh. But I forgive you. The silicon particles had begun dancing again, hanging in the air, mimicking now dense fog. They increased in intensity as the wind began to increase its fury. Gala tugged at the sleeve of the glove to tighten his grip on his hand, then reached for the horse's rein. The royal lady pulled away. "Wait," he said, taking an index finger and stabbing at his chest. "I'm in charge here. That's too far to walk. If you're tired, you can rest when we get there." Loyal Lady breathed her protest, but yielded from further flight. Gala grabbed the reins, gripped the saddle stud, and climbed aboard. Loyal Lady began a steady gallop once the spurs dug into her side. Gala climbed off from the saddle at the town limit. He held the reins and led the way. From this point, there was decent elimination. Loyal Lady had been fatigued from the journey. These parts were untraveled and unknown, sparse, and he felt a bit tense. He ran a hand down the horse's mane and she neighed. "Well, I'm tired too. There's a decent saloon, looks like just ahead." Gala tied his steed to the proper framework outside the saloon, a task he did wearily. He climbed a set of stairs, his spurs speaking with every deliberate step. He glanced back and Loyal Lady had her nose buried in a water trough. "About to have me a drink too? See you in a minute." Loyal Lady focused her eye in his direction. She then panned it around an examination of the surroundings. Gala took several inconspicuous glances and, turning to face the entrance of the establishment, he opened the saloon doors, pushing open both sides of the doors, holding the pair open with his hands. With a quick scan of the occupants, he cleared the entrance and did not notice someone approaching from his blind side. A tall, slim, extremely hairy creature known as Cyrus Sinicus exiting. He paid no attention to Gala. Cyrus threw a forearm abruptly across Gala's chest. This swept him from the slender being's path and back through the entrance. Gala was stunned, shock shone on his face. His arms partially fanned out and hung at his sides in an unthreatening manner. He regained his balance, searching for fortitude, steadying him just barely before plummeting down the same set of stairs he not too long before climbed. Gala's horse raised and stood on its hind legs, striking the air with its hooves. The beast breathing mist into the chilling night air as it grounded itself, the sound of her breath vibrating in the challenge of the action taken against her rider. Gala raised his left hand. This calmed her. He raised an exposed palm of the other in diplomacy against any conflict with the menacing figure which had now stopped. Steadied him, round the eyes dark as night. Cyrus' nose, busy examining the air, twitching, indescribable. Then Cyrus returned attention to the direction he had been moving, and as if suddenly unpaused, he continued on his way at the same aggressive pace. Gala inhaled slowly, his own nostrils twitching through the dust. He exhaled simultaneously, allowing his eyelids to fall shut, only to reopen. Suddenly, he felt at a weaponless waistline with one hand. He glanced over his shoulder to Loyal Lady and focused on the saddlebag, his weapon stored within. "Let's try this again." He began to re-enter the saloon, looking over the entryway more thoroughly before beginning to move through the doors once more.
I can't reach for my ion holster. I throw knuckles every time I have a disagreement.